My son, my daughter, I'm upset, not with you, but with what's been happening in your life. And tonight, I'm going to do something powerful in your home. But I need you to stay with me here until the end. Don't leave. Don't close this message. Because if you leave now, you'll miss the blessings I've already set aside, especially for you. I know you're tired. I know you've heard many empty promises. But this isn't just another ordinary message. This is a word directly from me to your heart at this very moment. It wasn't a coincidence that brought you here. I orchestrated every detail so that you would be in front of this screen at this time, on this specific day. I saw it all, my son. I saw you cry in the bathroom so no one would notice your pain. I heard your whispered prayers in the early hours of the morning when anguish wouldn't let you sleep. I was there when the person you trusted betrayed you, used you, and then discarded you as if you were worthless. I saw every tear that fell from your face, and not one of them touched the ground without me counting them one by one. You've been feeling invisible, haven't you? As if no one sees your effort, your dedication, your pure heart. You've been giving your best, but the people around you only see your mistakes. They demand perfection from you, but never acknowledge when you get it right. And this has been deeply hurtful. You've been carrying a weight no one sees, a pain no one understands. I want you to know something right now. I see you. I've always seen you. And I'm about to do something that will completely change your situation. But before I continue, I need to know if you're truly ready to receive what I've prepared. I need to know if you believe this word is for you. Things have happened in your life that have made you question whether I still care. You've been through trials that have made you doubt whether I'm still with you. But I've never left your side, my son. Not for a second. Every moment you thought you were alone, I was there, holding you, keeping you from falling apart completely. I saw you being humiliated at work. I saw you being rejected in love. I saw your own family not believe in you. I saw you looking in the mirror and no longer recognizing the person there. I saw you thinking about giving up on everything, all your dreams, all your hopes. And in each of those moments, I was fighting for you in the spiritual world. I was holding back forces you can't even imagine exist. I was preventing the worst from happening because I have plans for you. Plans of peace, not evil, to give you a future and hope. Tonight is no ordinary night. As you listen to this message, there is movement in the spiritual world. Angels are being sent. Decrees are being released. Doors are being opened. And others are being closed. And all of this is happening because of you. If you feel like this word is for you, if something inside your chest is confirming that I am speaking directly to you at this moment, go to the comments now and leave an amen. I'll wait for you to come back because I have much more to tell you, much more to reveal to you about what's happening right now in your life. Welcome back, my son. I knew you would return, because there is something inside you that recognizes my voice. My sheep know my voice, and I know each of them by name, and I know your name. I know exactly who you are and everything you've been through. Now I need you to understand the gravity of what's happening. Tonight is no ordinary night. As you listen to this message, there's movement in the spiritual world. Angels are being sent. Decrees are being released, doors are being opened, and others are being closed. And all of this is happening because of you, because of your faith, because of your persistence in continuing to believe even when all seemed lost. I'm upset, yes, but let me explain exactly why I'm upset. I'm upset because I saw what they did to you. I saw those people approaching you with ulterior motives. They didn't want what was best for you. They wanted to use you. They saw you as an opportunity, not a human being. And I, in my patience, waited. I waited to see if they would change. I waited to give them a chance to repent, but they hardened their hearts. They saw your kindness and interpreted it as weakness, as if being kind meant being foolish, as if having a generous heart was synonymous with naivety. They saw your generosity and abused it repeatedly. They took everything you offered and never gave anything back, not even gratitude, not even acknowledgement, not even a simple, sincere thank you. They saw your capacity for forgiveness and trampled on it. How many times have you forgiven the same person for the same mistake? How many times have you given them another chance when anyone else would have given up? How many times have you swallowed your pain, your pride, your hurt, and decided to try again? And what have you received in return? More betrayal, more disappointment, more disrespect, and I will not allow this to continue any longer. Enough is enough. The time for patience is over. Now is the time for justice. I am a God of love, but I am also a God of justice. And when someone messes with one of my children, when someone deliberately causes pain to someone I love, I will not stand idly by. You've been carrying a weight that wasn't meant to be yours. You've been taking the blame for things you didn't even do. You've been apologizing for taking up space as if your existence were a nuisance to others. But I created you with purpose. I created you because the world needs you, and I won't let lies continue to define who you are. Tonight, I'll begin removing these toxic people from your life. Some will leave voluntarily, others I'll remove myself. But one way or another, you'll find peace. You'll breathe a sigh of relief. You'll finally be able to be yourself without fear of being judged, without fear of being used, without fear of being discarded. You'll wake up one day and realize that certain people are simply no longer in your life, and you'll feel such relief that you'll understand that wasn't a loss. It was liberation. Because sometimes I need to remove people from our lives not as punishment, but as protection. Not because they don't deserve you, but because you don't deserve what they do to you. As I say this, you are thinking of someone who has also been wronged, someone who urgently needs to hear this word. So share this message with that person now. And stay here with me, because I still have much more to reveal to you about what is happening right now in your life and in the lives of those who have hurt you. My son, I need to tell you something about this channel you're watching now. This is no ordinary channel. This is a channel I created specifically to reach millions of people with my pure and true words. Amidst so many confused voices, amidst so much religious deception, I wanted to have a space where my voice could be heard clearly, without distortion, without manipulation, without ulterior motives. There are so many places today where people use my name to promote their own agendas, so many who distort my words for their own benefit, so many who turn faith into a product and hope into a commodity. But this channel is different. Here is a place where I can speak directly to you, without intermediaries, without filters, without anything to hinder our connection. And I need your help to continue reaching more people. Every time you click the like button, you're doing more than just a digital gesture. You're telling the world that my word has value. You're declaring that this message deserves to be heard by more people. You're allowing this platform's algorithm to understand that this content needs to reach more wounded hearts, more weary souls, more lives desperate for hope. Every subscription this channel receives is an open door for me to enter the life of someone on the brink of collapse, someone who's considering giving up, someone who's lost all faith, someone who no longer believes that good things can happen. And when you subscribe, when you activate that bell, you are actively participating in a spiritual rescue. You are an instrument in my hands to save lives. But there's another reason I need you to subscribe. a reason that directly relates to you, to your own journey. I have different messages for each day of your life. I won't tell you everything today. Not because I want to hide anything from you, but because you're not ready to receive it all at once. It would be like trying to fill a cup that's already full. It would be a waste. So I will feed you little by little, daily, progressively, each day a new revelation, each day a new piece of the puzzle, each day another step in your transformation, until you are completely renewed, completely healed, completely restored. But here's the problem. If you're not subscribed to this channel, the platform's algorithm may hide my messages from you. You may miss crucial words I've prepared specifically for your current situation. You may miss the answer to the prayer you prayed yesterday. You may miss the guidance you desperately need to make that important decision, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want you to fall behind while others are moving forward. I don't want you to miss any blessing, any revelation, any word of encouragement that could make all the difference between giving up and keeping going, between sinking and swimming, between defeat and victory. You've come this far because I brought you. You're hearing these words because I orchestrated this meeting. And now I'm giving you an opportunity to ensure this won't be the last meeting, to ensure that tomorrow, when you need it most, my word will reach you again. So click the like button now, subscribe to this channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any messages I have prepared for you. Do this as a step of obedience, as an act of faith, as a declaration that you want to remain connected with me. And then stay here because I still have much more to reveal to you. Now let me tell you some things that no one knows. Things you've never told anyone because you were embarrassed, or because you thought no one would understand, or because you were afraid of being judged. But I know, I've always known. I know you've thought about giving up. I'm not necessarily talking about suicide, although some of you have come close to that too. I'm talking about giving up on dreaming, giving up on believing that good things can happen to you, giving up on expecting people to treat you with even the slightest bit of respect and dignity, giving up on believing that you deserve to be happy. I know you've woken up in the middle of the night with a heavy heart, with that empty feeling in your chest that felt like it was going to suffocate you. And you looked at the ceiling in the dark and thought, how long, Lord? How long will I have to put up with this? How long will I have to carry this weight alone? You waited for an answer that seemed never to come. I know you've pretended to be okay when you were completely destroyed inside. You put on a smile, fixed your hair, put on your best outfit, and left the house as if nothing was happening. But inside, you were screaming. Inside, you were begging for help. Inside, you were falling apart. I know you've sat on the edge of your bed after an exhausting day and wondered, why do I keep trying? Why don't I just give up? Because everything you do never seems to be enough. You give 100% and people complain that it wasn't 110. You sacrifice yourself for others and no one recognizes it. You give up your dreams for the dreams of others and no one even says thank you. I know you've been rejected so many times that now you reject first before they have a chance to reject you. You build walls around your heart. You keep people at a distance, not because you don't want connection. You desperately want connection, but you're afraid of getting hurt again. You're afraid of trusting and being betrayed again. You're afraid of opening up and being used again. I know you've looked in the mirror and not liked the person you saw. I'm not talking about physical appearance necessarily. I'm talking about who you've become inside, because life has forced you to harden. It's forced you to create protective shells. It's forced you to suppress your true essence to survive. It's forced you to become someone you never wanted to be. You were lighter before. You smiled more easily. You trusted more quickly. You loved more freely. But life taught you that trust hurts, that loving hurts, that being yourself can be dangerous. So you learn to hide, you learn to wear masks, you learn to never show your true emotions. And I know, my child, I know you've been wondering, where is God? Why does He allow me to suffer so much? If He loves me as much as they say He does, why doesn't He free me from this pain? Why doesn't He intervene? Why is He silent when I need to hear His voice the most? And this doubt has been slowly eroding your faith, day after day. But I need you to hear this now, and hear it with all your heart. I never left your side, not for a second, not for a millisecond. Every moment you thought you were alone, I was there, holding you, keeping you from falling apart completely, holding the pieces of you that were about to shatter. Because if I hadn't held you, my son, you wouldn't be here now. You wouldn't have made it to this day. You wouldn't have the strength to keep breathing. But I held on. I held on tight, and I keep holding on. And now I'm going to tell you something about those people who hurt you. I saw it all, my son. Absolutely everything. I saw every lie they told about you. Every twisted word. Every truth turned into a lie. Every story invented to tarnish your reputation. I saw them spread rumors about you, create false narratives, plant doubts in others' minds about your character. I saw every manipulation, every psychological game they used to control you. Every time they twisted your words, every time they made you question your own sanity. Every time they made you feel guilty for things that weren't your responsibility. They were experts at this, experts at shifting blame, experts at making you feel small. I saw that person pretend to love you, but really, they just wanted something from you. They didn't want you. They wanted what you had to offer, your time, your money, your energy, your attention, your validation. And when you had nothing left to give, when you were completely drained, they discarded you without remorse, as if you were disposable, as if you had no feelings. I saw them betray you, when they broke your trust in the worst possible way, when they took your secrets, your vulnerabilities, the things you shared in your most intimate moments, and used them against you. They exposed you, they humiliated you, they laughed at you behind your back, and you didn't even know you were being ridiculed by those you trusted most. I saw them promise you things they didn't deliver. They gave you false hope. They made plans with you and abandoned you halfway through. They said they'd be there for you and disappeared exactly when you needed them most. They played with your feelings like a game, as if your emotions didn't matter. I saw them make you believe you were the problem, when in fact, they were the ones with the problem. When they convinced you that you were too sensitive, too demanding, too complicated, when in reality, you were only asking for the bare minimum, the basics, what any human being deserves: respect, consideration, honesty. I saw them steal your ideas and take credit. I saw them take advantage of your work. I saw them reap the rewards of what you sowed. I saw them shine with the light that was yours. And you remained in the shadows, invisible, unrecognized, while they received the applause that should have been yours. I saw them take advantage of your generosity. They abused your patience. They tested your limits repeatedly to see how much you could take. And you endured a lot. You endured more than you should have. You gave too many chances. You forgave too many times. You believed when you shouldn't have believed anymore. I saw them interpret your kindness as naivete, as if being good meant being stupid, as if having a pure heart meant being foolish. They thought they could fool you forever, that you'd never realize it, that you were too blind to see what was happening. And I also saw you trying to understand, trying to forgive, trying to give more chances, trying to see the best in people even when they repeatedly showed the worst, trying to find justifications for their horrible behavior, telling yourself, Maybe they're going through something hard. Maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe I'm overreacting. But you know what upset me the most? It was seeing you starting to believe you deserved it. It was seeing you internalizing their criticism. It was seeing you starting to doubt your own worth. It was seeing you looking at yourself with the same cruel eyes they used to look at you. And now I say, enough, no more. I will not allow these lies to continue poisoning your mind. I will not allow these people to continue destroying what I have built in you. Right now, type 7777 in the comments to activate the breaking of every curse and every chain that has been cast against you. You're back. Great, because now I'm going to reveal to you what's happening right now in the spiritual world because of that statement you just made. My angels of justice have just received their orders. They're being dispatched right now to deal with those who have harmed you. They're going to every person who has caused you pain, and divine justice is being unleashed. I'm not talking about human revenge. I'm not talking about you doing something against these people. I'm talking about divine justice, my justice, the justice that comes from the heavenly throne, the justice that is perfect, that is balanced, that is inevitable. Those who sowed pain in your life will reap pain. Those who stole from you will have to repay. Those who lied about you will be exposed at the right time, in the right way. And I don't need you to do anything. You don't need to seek revenge. You don't need to confront these people. You don't need to expose anyone on social media. You don't need to send messages demanding satisfaction. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just trust me, because revenge is mine, and I will pay. I will pay in the right currency, in the right measure, at the right time. You'll see, my son. Soon, you'll see people who humiliated you, experiencing humiliation themselves. Not because I'm cruel, but because they need to understand the pain they caused. They need to feel firsthand what they made you feel. Only then will they have a chance to truly repent. Only then will they understand the gravity of what they did. You'll see people who rejected you being rejected. People who abandoned you experiencing abandonment. People who betrayed you being betrayed. People who used you being used. And when you see this happening, you won't feel joy. Do you know why? Because your heart isn't like theirs. You'll feel compassion. You'll understand that they were just reaping what they sowed. And this will show you how much you've changed, how much you've grown, how much better you've become than those who tried to destroy you. Because when you wish harm on someone, you become like them. But when you can have compassion, even for those who hurt you, you transcend. You rise. You become more like me. But your part, your story, will be completely different. Because you planted good things. You planted forgiveness when you had every right to hold a grudge. You planted patience when you could have reacted with anger. You planted love when others planted hate. You planted kindness when it would have been easier to be cruel. You planted generosity when it would have been safer to be selfish. And now you will reap all of this multiplied, because that is my law. The law of sowing and reaping. What you sow, you reap, but not in the same measure. You reap multiplied. If you sow a seed, you don't reap a single seed. You reap an entire tree full of fruit. I will give you double everything that was taken from you. Double peace. That peace you lost when everything fell apart, I will give back twice as much. Double joy. That joy that was stolen from you, I will restore, multiplied. Double opportunities. Those doors that were closed in your face, I will open twice as many better doors. Double the true relationships. Those fake people who left your life, left empty spaces, and I will fill those spaces with genuine people, people who will truly love you, people who will value you, people who will add to your life. Double the prosperity. Everything that was stolen from you financially, emotionally, and spiritually, I will restore multiplied. Everything you've lost, I will return improved. Because I am the God of restoration, and when I restore, I don't just repair what was broken. I don't just fix what was damaged. I improve, I renew. I transform it into something even better than it was before. Now think of someone who has also been wronged and needs to hear about divine justice. Then share this message with that person immediately. Stay here with me, because I still have much more to reveal to you about what is happening in your life right now. Welcome back, my son. Now I need to have a serious talk with you. A conversation that may hurt a little, but is absolutely necessary for your liberation. You've been living a lie. No, I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm saying you've been believing lies about who you are. Lies planted by people who don't really know you. Lies you've internalized as absolute truths. You've been believing you're not enough, that you're not smart enough, not pretty enough, not talented enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, not deserving enough. And I'm here to tell you once and for all, that's a lie. All of it is a lie planted, cultivated, and watered by voices that shouldn't have power over you. Do you know who planted these lies? The enemy of your souls, the one who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that if you discovered who you truly are, if you understood the power within you, if you saw the potential I placed within you, he would lose all control over your life. So he works tirelessly, day and night, planting doubts in your mind. And do you know what his favorite strategy is? Using people to plant these lies. Because it's easier to believe a lie when it comes from a human voice than when it comes solely from your own thoughts. He used your parents, even without them realizing it. He used your teachers when they compared you to other students. He used your peers when they excluded or ridiculed you. He used your past relationships when they rejected or betrayed you. He used your bosses when they belittled you or ignored your work. They've all at some point said things that made you question your own worth. You'll never make it. You're too dumb for that. No one will truly love you. You always mess up. You're a failure. You're worthless. You're too heavy. You're too complicated. You're too sensitive. You're problematic. You're hard to love. And you believed. You believed because you heard it so many times that your mind stopped questioning. You believed because when you were vulnerable, when you were hurt, when you were searching for answers, those words found fertile soil in your heart, and they were planted, and they grew, and they became deep beliefs that now control your entire life. But I am here today to disprove every single one of those lies. I am the God of truth, and the truth about you is this: you are my masterpiece. You were created in my image and likeness. There is nothing wrong with you that needs fixing. You are not an unfinished project. You are not a draft that needs rewriting. You are a complete work. Yes, you have flaws. Everyone does. Even the people who judged you have flaws far worse than yours. But your flaws don't define you. Your failures don't erase your worth. Your mistakes don't cancel out your purpose. Your imperfections don't negate your beauty. Your weaknesses don't invalidate your strengths. You are valuable not for what you do, but for who you are. You are loved not because you are perfect, but because I chose you. You are important not because you have achieved great things, but because I created you with intention. Every detail of who you are was thought out, was planned, was desired. I created you exactly as you are because the world needs you exactly as you are, not some improved version of you, not some thinner, richer, smarter, prettier version. The world needs the authentic you, the real you, the you that hides behind all those masks and defenses. Click like now as a declaration that you renounce all lies about your identity and sign up to receive daily reminders of who you really are. Do this as a commitment to the truth, to your own liberation, and stay here because I still have more important revelations for you. Now let me tell you who you really are, and I want you to hear every word I'm about to say as if you were hearing it for the first time, as if it were the first time someone has told you the truth about yourself, because it probably is the first time. You are my son, my daughter, not because you deserve it, not because you're perfect, not because you did everything right, but because I chose you. I chose you before you were even born, before the foundation of the world, before the stars were placed in the sky, before the oceans were created. I had already chosen you. I already knew your name. I already knew your face. I already loved you. I knew you when you were still being formed in your mother's womb. I was there for every stage of your development. I counted every hair on your head. I designed every detail of your face, your body, your personality, your way of being. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't chance. It wasn't luck. It was intentional design. Every feature of you was thought out, planned, desired. I placed gifts within you, unique talents that no one else in this world possesses in exactly the same way as you. There may be people with similar talents, but no one has the exact combination that you have. No one has the unique perspective that you have. No one has the voice that you have. No one can do what you were created to do in the way that you were created to do it. I placed dreams in your heart, dreams that are bigger than you can imagine, dreams that scare you when you think about them, dreams that seem impossible. And I placed these enormous dreams precisely because you were created for big things. You weren't made for small accomplishments. You were made for achievements that will leave people speechless. I've placed a calling on your life, a calling that goes beyond you, a calling that will impact generations, that will change lives, that will transform realities. There are people in this world who will only be reached through you. There are lives that will only be saved when you step into your purpose. There are destinies that depend on you embracing who you truly are. You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to live an ordinary, forgettable life. You weren't born to pass through this world without leaving a mark. You weren't born to be just another person in the crowd. You were born to stand out, to shine, to be noticed, not out of pride, but out of purpose. You weren't born to live in the shadows, watching other people live the lives you wanted to live. You weren't born to be an audience member. You weren't born to be a spectator. You were born to be the protagonist of your own story. You were born to be center stage. You were born to leave such a profound mark on the world that even after you're gone, people will still talk about what you did. You were born to make a difference, to make an impact, to change the course of things, to leave the world better than you found it. And there are people waiting for you to step into your purpose. There are people who are trapped, lost, without hope, and they will only be freed when you embrace who you are and start doing what you were born to do. That's why the enemy fought so hard to keep you small. That's why he worked so hard to convince you that you're insignificant. That's why he used so many people to plant doubts in your mind. That's why he orchestrated so many rejections, so many disappointments, so many failures, because he knows. He knows that if you discover the truth about who you are, if you understand the power that lies within you, if you awaken to your true purpose, he loses. He loses control over you. He loses the ability to manipulate you. He loses the power to keep you paralyzed. And when you step into your purpose, not only are you freed, but everyone connected to you is freed as well. Your family is freed. Your children are freed. Your generation is freed. So understand this now. You are not ordinary. You are not insignificant. You are not replaceable. You are unique. You are essential. You are necessary. The world needs you. Now, I want you to stop apologizing for existing. Stop making yourself small so others feel comfortable around you. Stop hiding your gifts for fear of making someone feel inferior. Stop diminishing your achievements to avoid appearing arrogant. Stop pretending you're less than you are just to fit into others' limited expectations of you. There's nothing humble about denying who you are. There's nothing holy about wasting what I've placed within you. There's nothing spiritual about hiding. True humility isn't about making yourself small. True humility is about recognizing your gifts and using them to serve. It's about understanding that what you have didn't come from you. It came from me, and therefore should be used for my glory and the good of others. False humility, on the other hand, is hiding your gifts. It's wasting your potential. It's pretending you're nothing special when I made you extraordinary. And when you do that, when you diminish yourself, you're not honoring me. You're doing the opposite. You're insulting the work I've done on you. You're saying what I've created isn't good enough. I didn't create you to hide. I created you to shine. And your light doesn't diminish anyone else's. Quite the opposite. When you shine, when you embrace who you truly are, when you stop hiding, you give others permission to do the same. You become an example. You become an inspiration. You become living proof that it's possible to be authentic in a world full of masks. You've been carrying shame that isn't yours. Shame about being smart. Shame about being beautiful. Shame about being talented. Shame about being successful. As if your qualities were flaws. As if you should apologize for being good at what you do. As if you should feel bad for having achieved things others haven't. But this shame didn't come from me. This shame was planted by insecure people. People who couldn't handle your light. People who felt threatened by your potential. People who preferred to diminish you rather than deal with their own insecurities. So they tried to make you feel guilty for being who you are. They tried to convince you there was something wrong with you. They tried to extinguish your light, and for a while it worked. You started hiding. You started downplaying your accomplishments. You started pretending. You didn't know things you did. You started not talking about your successes. You started dressing in a way that wouldn't draw attention to yourself. You started speaking more quietly. You started taking up less space. You started apologizing for things that weren't wrong. But I will rekindle that light. I will make you shine brighter than ever. I will take that shame away from you and replace it with boldness, with confidence, with certainty in who you are. And the same ones who tried to erase you, the same ones who made you feel small, the same ones who convinced you to hide, they will have to see you shine, not to give you glory, not to exalt you, but to give glory to me. Because when they see what I've done in you, when they see the transformation, when they see you taking your place, they'll have no choice but to recognize that it was my work, that it was divine power, that it was supernatural intervention. And some of them will regret it. They'll realize how wrong they were about you. They'll understand they projected their own insecurities onto you. They'll want to reconnect, apologize, and restore the relationship. And it's up to you to decide whether or not to give them that chance. But know that forgiveness doesn't mean allowing them to mistreat you again. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiveness means releasing the burden of resentment. Others won't regret it. They'll continue to criticize you, even when you're shining. They'll find flaws. They'll try to minimize your achievements. They'll invent reasons to justify why you don't deserve what you have. And you'll have to learn to shine, even when they try to erase you. You'll have to learn to walk in your truth, even when others question it. You'll have to learn to be yourself, even when others disapprove. If you're ready to stop hiding and start shining as God created you to shine, click like now as a declaration of this new stance. Stay here because I still have more powerful truths to reveal to you about what will happen from now on. Right now, as you hear these words, I am sending my angels. This is not metaphor. This is not symbolic. This is not poetic language. This is literal. My angels are being dispatched from the heavenly throne right now. They have received specific orders concerning you. They know your name. They know your address. They know exactly where you are and what you need. The first group are angels of protection. They are being sent to surround your home, your room, your car, your workplace. They will form an invisible shield around you, a shield that no dark force can penetrate. Nothing will touch you without passing through them first. No spiritual attack, no curse, no negative energy, no evil intent. Everything will hit this shield and return to the sender. And these angels are not weak. They are not delicate. They are powerful warriors. Each of them has the strength to destroy entire armies. Each of them has fought battles you can't even imagine. And now they have been specifically assigned to protect you, to ensure you reach your destination, to ensure you fulfill your purpose. The second group are angels of provision. They were sent to open supernatural pathways for resources to reach you. Money you weren't expecting, opportunities you weren't seeking, connections you hadn't planned for. They will connect you with the right people at the right time. They will put your name on the lips of influential people. They will create opportunities that didn't exist before. These angels are working right now behind the scenes in your life. They're moving pieces on the board. They're orchestrating encounters. They're preparing surprises. You'll wake up one day and something will happen that you can't quite explain naturally. You'll get an unexpected call. You'll receive a surprising proposal. You'll be remembered for something you didn't even know was being considered. The third group are battle angels. These are the fiercest, the brute, and most relentless. They were sent to fight the spiritual forces that have been trying to destroy you. They will confront the demons that have been attacking your mind, your emotions, your relationships, your finances. They will break generational curses that have been passed down from generation to generation in your family. These curses that make everyone in your family repeat the same mistakes, the same patterns of failure, the same addictions, the same illnesses, the same divorces. All of this is being broken now. The angels are cutting these chains. They are breaking these shackles. They are destroying these strongholds. And you will be the first in your lineage to live free, the first to break the cycle, the first to create a new pattern. The fourth group are healing angels. They were sent to bring emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. They will begin to repair the broken parts within you, the childhood wounds that never healed, the traumas of abusive relationships, the scars of rejection, the marks of betrayal. All of this is being healed now, layer by layer, wound by wound. These angels are touching the deepest parts of you, the parts you've hidden from everyone, the parts you're ashamed of, the parts you think are beyond repair, and they are bringing healing, restoration, renewal. You will begin to feel differently. You will begin to think differently. You will begin to react differently to the things that once destroyed you. You are not alone in this battle, my son. You have a heavenly army working for you, an army that never sleeps, never tires, never gives up. They work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. While you sleep, they work. While you cry, they fight. While you doubt, they carry out my orders without question. And these angels won't leave when things get better. They will remain with you, because you'll need them not only to get out of the valley, but also to conquer the mountains. You'll need them not only to survive, but also to thrive. You'll need them not only to protect you from your enemies, but also to administer your blessings. Share this message now with someone who also needs to know that there is an army of angels fighting alongside them right now. Stay here, because I'm going to reveal to you now what else is happening in the spiritual world because of you. Tonight is a night of breaking curses. Curses that have been operating in your life for years, some for decades, others for entire generations. Some you didn't even know existed. You just knew there was a pattern, a repetition, something that always happened, and you couldn't explain why. Curses aren't just stuff from horror movies. They're not just superstitions. They're real. They're spiritual agreements that give the enemy legal authority to operate in your life. They can come from words spoken over you by people with spiritual authority. They can come from practices your family practiced in the past, things that open spiritual doors. They can come from broken oaths. They can come from grave injustices committed by your ancestors that were never redressed. And I will break every single one of them tonight. Every curse that has tried to keep you bound, I will destroy. Every spiritual covenant that has given the enemy power over your life, I will nullify. Every door that was opened in the past and should have been closed, I will close it now with the blood of Jesus. The first curse I'm breaking now is the curse of poverty. This curse has prevented financial prosperity in your family for generations. You look back and see that your grandparents were poor, your parents were poor, and now you're struggling financially too. There's always money left at the end of the month. Money comes in, but it seems to slip through your fingers. Opportunities appear, but they always slip away at the last moment. There's an invisible ceiling you can never surpass. This curse is being broken now, this very moment. I decree that, starting today, you will begin to see supernatural financial changes in your life. The second curse I'm breaking is the curse of relationships. You look at your family history and see that all relationships end badly. Repeated betrayals, divorces, abandonments, abusive relationships. You see your grandparents, your parents, your uncles all going through the same thing, and you're afraid it will happen to you too, or maybe it's already happening. You can't maintain healthy relationships. Either you attract the wrong people or the right people leave. This curse is being broken now. I decree that you will have healthy, true, lasting relationships. You will meet people who will truly love you, who will value you, who will stay. The third curse I'm breaking is the curse of disease. The same diseases passing from generation to generation: cancer, diabetes, depression, anxiety, heart disease. As if it were genetic inheritance, but it's not just genetic, it's spiritual. There's a curse at work, and this curse is being broken now. I decree healing over your life and the lives of your descendants. The diseases that destroyed previous generations will not destroy you. They stop here. They end now. The fourth curse I'm breaking is the curse of failure. Nothing you try works. Everything you touch seems to fall apart. Projects that start well but never finish. Dreams that always seem to slip through your fingers at the last moment. You work hard, you strive, you do everything right, but success never comes. There's always something that goes wrong. This curse is being broken now. I decree that you will succeed, your projects will prosper, your dreams will come true, you will finish what you start. You will be the curse breaker of your lineage, my son. The cycle ends with you. You are the generation that will break these chains. You are the one who will change your family's history. A new generation begins with you. Your children will not inherit these curses. They will not go through what you went through. They will not carry what you carried. They will inherit blessings. They will inherit victory. They will inherit prosperity. They will inherit health. They will inherit healthy relationships. They will inherit success. But to do that, You need to stay connected to me. You need to keep hearing my voice. You need to keep receiving my word. Because the enemy will try to bring these curses back. He will try to convince you that nothing has changed. He will try to make you doubt. Subscribe to this channel now to continue receiving the word that will keep these curses broken and prevent them from operating in your life again. Stay here because I'm not done yet. There's more I need to tell you about what's happening right now. Now I will silence the voices that have been speaking in your mind non-stop. Voices of condemnation, voices of accusation, voices of discouragement. Voices that say, you can't do it, you don't deserve it, you're incapable, you're a failure, you always fail, you always mess up, you'll never change, you'll never be happy, you'll never have what you want. These voices are not yours, my son. You need to understand this. They are not your thoughts. They are thoughts the enemy plants in your mind, thoughts you end up believing are yours. He's an expert at this. He whispers lies so convincing that you begin to accept them as truth. He speaks in the first person, so you think it's you thinking them. But they're not your thoughts, they're his, and I'm going to silence them now. I'm going to shut the enemy's mouth about your life. I'm going to stop him from planting these poisonous seeds in your mind. The first voice I'm silencing now is the voice of guilt. That voice that keeps reminding you of your past mistakes, that keeps bringing back the shame of things you've done, that won't let you forget, that won't let you move forward, that keeps you stuck in the past. That voice keeps repeating, you don't deserve to be forgiven. You don't deserve to start over. You are dirty. You are stained. You are unworthy. That voice is being silenced now. I decree that you are forgiven completely, totally. Your past has been erased. You are a new creation. The second voice I'm silencing is the voice of comparison. That voice that keeps showing you that other people are better off than you, that they have more money, that they're prettier, that they have better relationships, that they have more successful careers. This voice keeps making you feel inferior, behind, like you're wasting time while everyone else is moving forward. This voice is being silenced now. I decree that you are exactly where you need to be. Your time is different from everyone else's. Your journey is unique. Stop comparing yourself. The third voice I'm silencing is the voice of fear. That voice that whispers terrible scenarios that could happen. What if you lose everything? What if no one loves you? What if you fail? What if you're rejected? What if the worst happens? This voice paralyzes you. It stops you from acting. It stops you from trying. It stops you from taking risks. It stops you from living fully. This voice is being silenced now. I decree that you will no longer live in fear. You will live in faith. You will trust me. The fourth voice I'm silencing is the voice of doubt. That voice that makes you question if I really love you, if I really care, if I'll really keep my promises. This voice whispers, God has forgotten you. God has abandoned you. God doesn't care about you. God won't do anything. Your prayers don't work. Your faith is useless. This voice is being silenced now. I decree that you will know without a shadow of a doubt that I love you, that I have never forgotten you, that I have always been here. In place of these destructive voices, you will begin to hear my voice that brings peace, not confusion, my voice that brings hope, not despair, my voice that brings clear direction, not doubt, my voice that brings abundant life, not spiritual death, my voice that edifies, that builds, that encourages, that strengthens. You will learn to distinguish my voice from the other voices that try to confuse you. And do you know how you'll know it's my voice? Because when I speak, it brings peace. Even when I correct you, it brings peace. Even when I challenge you, it brings peace. My voice never brings confusion. It never brings condemnation. It never brings despair. And when you hear my voice, you will know for sure. You will feel an inexplicable peace. You will feel that it is true in your spirit. You won't need to question whether it was me or not. You will know, because my sheep know my voice. And the more time you spend with me, the easier it becomes to recognize when it is me speaking. The enemy will try to imitate my voice. He will try to plant thoughts that seem to come from me, but you will know the difference, because his voice always brings condemnation. His voice always brings fear. His voice always makes you feel small, incapable, unworthy. But my voice always makes you feel loved, even when it corrects you. My voice always makes you feel capable, even when it challenges you. My voice always points to hope, never to despair. Now I'm going to talk about financial blessings, and I want you to listen very carefully, because there's a lot of confusion on this subject. It's not a sin to desire prosperity. It's not wrong to want money. It's not a lack of spirituality to want to live comfortably. I don't want you poor and suffering. I don't want you in need. I don't want you living on scraps. I want to bless you financially, but not out of greed, not so you can accumulate wealth and live selfishly. I want to bless you so you can be a channel of blessing, so you can help others, so you can make a difference in the lives of those in need, so you can fund my work, so you can live the abundant life I promised. And at this very moment, supernatural provision is being released into your life. Money is being moved in the spiritual world. Resources are being directed to you. Financial doors are being opened, and this will manifest in many ways. The first is unexpected money. Money you weren't expecting. It could be a refund you didn't even remember you were entitled to. It could be an inheritance you didn't know you were going to receive. It could be an unexpected bonus at work. It could be a financial gift from someone whose heart God touches to help you. I will use people to bless you. People will feel in their hearts that they need to give you something, and they will obey. The second form is job opportunities, offers popping up out of nowhere. That job you weren't even looking for, but will appear. That promotion you weren't actively seeking, but will be offered. That new client that will appear and completely transform your business. That important contract that will be signed and will bring financial stability. I'm preparing all of this behind the scenes. The third way is profitable ideas. I'll put ideas in your mind. Business ideas, investment ideas, project ideas, things you've never thought of before. And suddenly, clarity, inspiration, a vision of something you can do will come. And these ideas aren't ordinary. They're ideas that come from me. They're anointed ideas. They're ideas that will thrive because I'm behind them. The fourth way is to multiply what you already have. The little you have now will be multiplied. Just as I multiplied the loaves and fishes, just as I made the widow's oil multiply, you will see your money yield more than it should. You will be able to do more with less. You will see that somehow, supernaturally, what you have is enough when it shouldn't be. Debts that seem impossible to pay are being supernaturally paid off. That debt that suffocates you, keeps you awake at night, and seems like it will never end, will be paid off in a way you don't expect. Creditors may forgive part of the debt. Special payment terms may arise. You may receive exactly the amount you need to pay it all off at once. I'll take care of it. But I need to tell you something important. You need to be wise with the money I'm going to give you. You can't waste it. You can't spend it on frivolities. You can't use it only to satisfy your own selfish desires. You need to manage it wisely. You need to be faithful in your tithes and offerings. You need to be generous to those in need, because the more you give, the more you receive. This is my spiritual law. The more you bless others, the more I bless you. The more you open your hands to help those in need, the more I open the windows of heaven upon you. It's not a bargain, it's not a negotiation, it's a spiritual law that always works. And I want you to understand that you deserve these blessings, not because you're perfect, not because you've never made mistakes, but because you are my son, my daughter, and I delight in blessing my children. I rejoice in seeing you prosper. I rejoice in seeing you live in the abundance I always intended for you. Go to the comments now and declare out loud by typing, "I am worthy of blessings," to break every lie of financial unworthiness about your life. Stay here with me, because I still have more blessings to release upon you at this time. Now, I'm going to talk about relationship restoration, and I need to be very clear with you from the beginning. I will restore relationships in your life, but not all of them, because not all of them need to be restored. Some relationships need to die. They need to stay in the past. They were toxic. They were destructive. They were harmful to you. And I'm not going to bring these people back into your life just because you miss them or because you feel lonely, but I'll bring new people, the right people, people who will truly love you, people who will value you, people who will add to your life, not subtract from it, people who will celebrate your victories, not envy you, people who will be by your side in the hard times, not just the good ones. People who will accept you as you are without trying to change you to fit their expectations. The first area I'm going to restore is your romantic relationships. If you're single and longing for someone, I want you to know that I'm preparing the right person for you right now. This person won't be perfect, no one is, but they'll be right for you. They'll share your values, they'll share your faith, they'll respect you, they'll honor you. They'll genuinely love you, not for what you have to offer, but for who you are. And your meeting won't be forced. It won't be desperate. It will be natural. It will be in its own time. And when you meet, you'll know. You'll feel peace. You'll feel like it makes sense. It won't be that crazy, confusing crush you experienced before. It will be something deeper, more solid, more real. If you're in a difficult relationship right now, I'm going to do one of two things. Either I'm going to transform that relationship completely, bringing healing, restoration, and a renewal of love, or I'm going to give you the courage to leave. Because if this relationship can be fixed, I'm going to fix it. But if it can't, if it's something that needs to end, I'm going to set you free. I'm going to give you the strength you don't have right now to take the step you know you need to take. The second area is family relationships. I know there are deep wounds there. I know there are old hurts, fights that have lasted years, families who no longer speak to each other, parents and children who are distant, siblings who have become estranged, and I will bring healing to these relationships. I will soften hardened hearts. I will break pride. I will plant humility. I will create opportunities for reconciliation. Families that are at odds will reconcile, not overnight, not magically, but gradually. Step by step, old hurts will be healed. Forgiveness will flow where before there was only resentment and bitterness. Bonds that seemed impossible to restore will be restored. But this will only happen where there is genuine repentance, where there is a willingness to change, where there is humility to acknowledge mistakes. The third area is true friendships. I know you've been feeling lonely. I know you've been having trouble trusting people after so many disappointments. I know you've built walls around your heart to protect yourself. But I will bring true friends into your life. People who won't use you. People who won't betray you, people who will be there not just on the good days, but especially on the bad. Friends who will correct you when you're wrong, but with love, not judgment. Friends who will challenge you to grow, to be better, to go further. Friends who will cry with you when you cry and laugh with you when you laugh. Friends who will celebrate your victories as if they were their own. Friends who won't envy your success. You won't feel alone anymore, my son. You'll have genuine people around you, a community, a chosen family, people who will understand you even when you can't explain yourself well. People who will accept you completely, with all your imperfections, all your quirks, all your flaws, and these people will naturally appear in your life. You'll meet someone at work, or at the gym, or at a class, or at church, or in a completely unexpected situation, and there will be a genuine connection, a feeling that you've known this person for years, even though you've only just met. If you're ready to welcome true, healthy relationships into your life, click like now as a declaration of openness from your heart. Stay here because I still have more areas of your life to restore and bless right now. Now I'm going to open doors in your life, doors that seemed impossible, doors of opportunity that have been locked for years, doors you tried to open on your own and it couldn't, doors that others said would never open for you. But when I open a door, no one can close it, and when I close it, no one can open it. The first door I'll open is your professional door, that job opportunity you've always wanted, that promotion that seemed distant, unattainable, that recognition for your work that never came, that career change you dreamed of but were afraid to attempt. This door will open supernaturally. You'll be remembered by people you didn't even know knew your name. You'll be recommended for positions you weren't even seeking. The second door is the educational door, that course you wanted to take but couldn't afford. That training that would completely change your future, that scholarship will appear. That approval for a difficult entrance exam or public exam will happen. That opportunity to study abroad that seemed impossible will become a reality because I will provide the means. The third door is the door to realizing dreams. That old dream you held in your heart but stopped believing was possible. That project you abandoned because circumstances didn't allow it. That deep desire you suppressed because you thought it was too late, or that you weren't capable, or that you didn't have the resources. I will rekindle that dream. I will bring back that desire. And I will give you the conditions to achieve it, be it your own home, your dream trip, your own business, the book you want to write, whatever it is that's in your heart. The fourth door is the door of influence. Your voice will begin to be heard. People will begin to seek you out for advice and guidance. You will have a platform to impact lives. Your spiritual and social authority will increase. You will realize that when you speak, people listen. When you act, people observe. When you lead, people follow. But with every open door comes responsibility. It's not for you to exalt yourself. It's not for you to think you're better than others. It's for you to serve more. The more doors I open in your life, the more you need to humble yourself. Because pride closes doors I've opened. Pride destroys blessings I've given. So be grateful, be humble, be faithful. Use every opportunity I give you to glorify me, to bless others, to make a difference in the world. Now I need to talk to you about something very important, about time. Everything I promised you will happen. Every word I spoke here tonight will come to pass. But I need you to understand that it won't necessarily be today. It won't necessarily be tomorrow. It won't necessarily be next week. Because my times are not your times. My ways are not your ways. A day for me is like 1,000 years for you, and 1,000 years for you are like a day for me. I'm not late. I'm never late. I'm always on perfect time. The problem is you're in a hurry. You want everything yesterday. You want immediate results. You want to harvest before you've even planted properly. But I don't work that way. You're in a hurry, but I'm purposeful. You want speed, but I want perfection. You want to receive now, but I know that if I give now, you're not ready. You might waste what I give. You might destroy the blessing through lack of maturity. You might not appreciate it because you didn't wait long enough, didn't fight hard enough, didn't grow enough. The process is as important as the result, my child. What I am doing in you while you wait is as important as what I will give you when the time comes. I am preparing you. I am shaping your character. I am strengthening your faith. I am developing patience in you. I am bringing maturity. I am removing impurities. I am refining you like gold in the fire. And I know it hurts. I know the fire burns. I know the process is difficult. I know there are days when you want to give up because it's taking too long, because it feels like nothing is happening, because you look around and see other people receiving their blessings and you keep waiting for yours. But don't compare your time to anyone else's. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own process. Everyone has their own time. Each day of waiting has a purpose. Nothing is wasted time. Everything is preparation time. You think you're standing still, but you're growing. You think nothing is changing, but you're being transformed. You think I've forgotten you, but I'm working intensely behind the scenes of your life. Look at David. He was anointed king when he was just a boy tending sheep. But he didn't ascend to the throne immediately. He waited years, years on the run, years of being persecuted, years living in caves, years wondering if that anointing was real or if he'd imagined it all. But when the time came, when he finally sat on the throne, he was ready. He had the maturity, he had the wisdom, he had the character. Look at Joseph. He had dreams of greatness, of his family bowing down before him. But after those dreams, what came? Betrayal by his brothers, slavery, unjust imprisonment, years and years of suffering. He could have given up on his dreams. He could have concluded they were just youthful illusions, but he remained faithful. He remained whole. And when the time came, when he became governor of Egypt, it all made sense. All the suffering had a purpose. Look at Abraham. I promised him a son, but he waited decades. He and Sarah grew old waiting. They reached an age where it was biologically impossible to have children. But when my time came, I fulfilled my promise. And he wasn't just a son. He was the father of nations. His descendants were as numerous as the stars in the sky. So don't give up waiting, my son. Don't lose faith in the process. Don't abandon everything because it's taking longer than you'd like. Keep praying. Keep believing, keep doing your part, keep living with integrity, keep trusting in me. Because in the right time, in my perfect timing, you will reap. You will see everything come to fruition, and you will understand why it took so long. You will be grateful for the wait. Share this message now with someone who is giving up because the answer is taking too long, so that this person will be strengthened in the wait. Stay tuned, because I have more important revelations about what to do while you wait for the promises to be fulfilled. I work where you can't see, my child. I work behind the scenes of your life. While you sleep, I'm working. While you cry, thinking nothing is changing, I'm organizing everything. While you doubt whether I've truly heard your prayers, I'm executing plans that will leave you speechless when they manifest. You can only see what's on the surface. You only see the natural world, the physical world, what's happening around you visibly. But in the spiritual world, in the invisible realm, much is happening right now. Angels are being moved. People are being prepared to help you, even without you knowing it yet. Circumstances are being perfectly aligned. Obstacles you didn't even know existed are being removed from your path. Enemies who were conspiring against you are being neutralized. All this happens invisibly to your eyes. You don't see it, but it's happening. It's like an iceberg. You only see the tip that's above water, but the bulk, the most important part, is underwater, hidden. It's like a seed planted in the ground. You don't see it growing. You look at the soil and it seems like nothing is changing. But underground, roots are forming. The seed is breaking. Life is sprouting. And one day, suddenly, you see the result. You see the plant emerging from the soil, but the process was happening all along, even when you couldn't see it. I'm connecting dots you don't even realize exist. That conversation you had last week with a stranger, it was part of my plan. That delay that irritated you so much because you missed the bus or arrived late, I was protecting you from something you don't even know what it was. That door that closed in your face and left you frustrated, I was redirecting you because the path you wanted to take was leading you to the wrong place. That person who walked out of your life and left you devastated, I was clearing your path because as long as they were there, taking up space, the right person couldn't come in. That job you didn't get and cried so much, I was saving you for a much better opportunity that will come along at the right time. That relationship that ended and you thought you'd never get over, I was saving you from a much greater tragedy that would have come if you continued down that path. Everything has a purpose, my son, absolutely everything, even if you don't understand it now, even if it seems unfair, even if it seems like it went wrong. One day you'll look back and see clearly how everything connected perfectly, how every piece of the puzzle had its rightful place, how even the bad things, even the pain, even the losses were used by me to get you exactly where you need to be. You'll see how that rejection saved you, how that failure taught you something essential, how that betrayal showed you who truly matters, how that loss prepared you to receive something much greater, how that pain shaped you into a better, more compassionate, stronger, wiser human being. But now, in this moment, you need to trust the unseen process. You need to trust the work you can't see. You need to continue walking by faith, not by sight. Because while your natural eyes see nothing happening, while your emotions tell you everything is at a standstill, while your mind questions whether anything will really change, I am making it all happen. I'm moving mountains you never knew existed. I'm parting seas that seemed insurmountable. I'm tearing down walls that seemed indestructible. I'm preparing miracles that will leave you speechless. I'm orchestrating encounters that will completely change your trajectory. I'm planting seeds that will produce abundant harvests. And all of this is happening right now, at this very moment, as you hear these words. In the spiritual world, there is intense movement. There is powerful work being done. And soon, very soon, you will begin to see the results in the natural world. Type 7777 in the comments now to activate your spiritual vision and begin to perceive God's invisible work in your life. Stay here because I'm going to teach you now how to keep your faith strong during this time of waiting and invisible work. Faith is believing without seeing, my son. Faith is trusting even when there is no visible evidence. Faith is continuing to believe even when everything around you says otherwise. Abraham believed against all hope. He didn't look at his body, which was already too old to bear children. He didn't look at Sarah's womb, which was already barren. He looked at my promise, and he chose to believe my word more than the reality his eyes saw. Faith doesn't deny reality. Faith isn't ignorance. Faith isn't pretending problems don't exist. But faith refuses to accept current reality as definitive. Faith looks at the impossible situation and says, "This may be impossible now, but my God specializes in impossibles. This may seem hopeless now, but my God is the God of solutions. This may seem like the end now, but my God is the God of new beginnings. Your situation may seem impossible. Your circumstances may seem hopeless, your problems may seem overwhelming, but that's exactly what I specialize in, the impossible. The more impossible a situation seems to human eyes, the more glory I receive when I make it happen. Because then, no one can say it was coincidence. No one can attribute it to human effort. Everyone must acknowledge it was divine intervention. So don't be afraid of the impossibility of your situation. Don't be discouraged by the difficulty of your challenge. In fact, the greater the challenge, the greater the testimony. The more impossible it seems, the more powerful the miracle. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain you will conquer later. I'm taking you to a place where you'll have no choice but to depend completely on me. A place where your strength won't be enough, where your intelligence won't solve the problem, where your connections won't help, where your money won't buy the solution. A place where only I can do it. And when I do, when the miracle happens, no one will be able to steal my glory. No one will be able to say it was luck. No one will be able to say it was your skill. No one will be able to say it was your effort. Everyone, including you, will have to acknowledge that it was God, that it was divine power, that it was supernatural intervention. And this will strengthen not only your faith, but the faith of everyone watching your life. While you wait, strengthen your faith. Read my word daily. Pray without ceasing. Praise even when you don't feel like it. Surround yourself with people of faith, people who will encourage you, who will remind you of my promises when you are weak. Avoid negative people. Avoid skeptical people who only see problems. Avoid people who will plant doubts in your heart. Guard your heart from doubt. Don't feed fear by constantly watching bad news. Don't feed anxiety by obsessing over problems. Instead, feed your faith with my promises. Memorize verses. Speak my words out loud. Remember the miracles I've performed in your life in the past. If I did it once, I can do it again. If I delivered you before, I'll deliver you now. What you feed is what grows, my son. If you feed doubt, doubt will grow until it consumes all your faith. If you feed fear, fear will grow until it paralyzes you completely. But if you feed faith, faith will grow until it becomes an unshakable certainty, until it becomes a trust that nothing can destroy. So choose to nourish your faith every day. Choose to believe even when it's difficult. Choose to trust even when you don't understand. Choose to declare my promises, even when everything seems contradictory. Because in the end, your faith will be rewarded. In the end, you will see that it was worth believing. In the end, you will witness my power in a way that will impact generations. And while you wait, know that I am with you. I have not left you alone on this journey of faith. I am holding your hand. I am sustaining you. I am giving you the strength you need for each day. You don't need strength for the whole year. You just need strength for today. And I give you new strength every morning. Click like and subscribe now to receive daily encouragement that will keep your faith strong throughout the waiting process. Stay tuned, because I still have important warnings about things you need to avoid during this time. The world will try to seduce you with shortcuts, my son. Easy paths that seem to solve everything quickly. Solutions that promise results without effort, without waiting, without sacrifice. And when you're tired of waiting, when you're desperate for change, these shortcuts will seem very appealing. But I need to warn you, every shortcut has a price, and that price is usually much higher than you imagine. The financial shortcut will appear in the form of easy money, schemes that promise quick riches, dubious investments, deals that seem too good to be true. And they really are too good to be true. It seems like a quick solution to your financial problems, but it's a trap. It will lead you into debt. It will get you into legal trouble. It will make you lose much more than you initially gained. The relationship shortcut will appear in the form of the wrong person who appears at exactly the right time. You're vulnerable, you're needy, you're feeling lonely, and suddenly someone appears who seems to fill that void. Someone who pays attention, who makes you feel desired, who temporarily takes away that pain. But this person isn't who I prepared for you. This person will lead you astray. They will hold you back. They will create unnecessary complications. And when you finally leave this wrong relationship, you'll realize how much time you've wasted. The professional shortcut will appear in the form of an opportunity that requires you to compromise your values. Someone will offer you a promotion, a contract, a perk, but they'll demand that you pay a bribe, that you lie, that you do something unethical, that you associate with questionable people, that you turn a blind eye to bad practices. And it might work in the short term. You might get that position, that money, that success, but it will destroy you in the long run. It will erode your character. It will tarnish your reputation. It will cost you your peace of mind. The spiritual shortcut will appear in the form of practices that promise quick results. Mysticism, syncretism, pacts with forces that are not mine, seeking spiritual power from the wrong sources, consulting people who claim to have special powers, performing rituals that promise to solve your problems overnight, and they may even work temporarily. You may even see some results, but you are opening doors for the enemy to enter your life. You are exchanging a true blessing for a demonic imitation. I'm telling you now, don't take shortcuts, no matter how tempting it seems, no matter how desperate your situation, no matter how long you've waited. Trust the process, trust my timing. The path I've prepared for you may be longer. It may require more patience. It may seem like it's taking too long, but it's the safe path. It's the path that takes you to the right destination without devastating consequences. Patience is difficult, I know. Waiting is painful, but impatience is much more expensive. Taking shortcuts is much more costly in the end. Waiting hurts temporarily, but taking the wrong path hurts permanently. Waiting makes you grow, but shortcuts make you regress. Waiting strengthens you, but shortcuts weaken you. So resist the temptation to take shortcuts, even when they seem like the perfect solution. Even when everyone around you is taking those shortcuts and seemingly succeeding, even when you feel foolish for continuing on the long road while others are quickly getting there on the short road, choose the narrow path. Choose the long but correct path. Choose the complete process, not the half-baked solution, because in the end, when you get to where I want you to be, you'll arrive whole, with your character intact, with your integrity preserved, with your conscience clear, with your peace guaranteed, and that's priceless. That's worth more than any shortcut the world can offer. And when you look back and see everything you've gone through without taking shortcuts, without compromising your values, without compromising your principles, you'll be proud of yourself. And I'll be proud of you because you chose to do things my way, not the world's way. You'll feel enormous pressure to be like everyone else, social pressure to conform, to fit in, to not be so radical, to not be so different. The world will tell you, relax, everyone does it. Everyone lies a little, everyone finds a way, everyone skips a few steps, everyone makes small concessions, everyone conforms a little. Why do you have to be so rigid? Why do you have to be so different? But I need to remind you, my son, you were not called to be like everyone else. You were called to be different, to be separate, to be holy, to be light in the darkness, to be salt of the earth. And light doesn't hide. Salt doesn't lose its flavor by blending in with the rest. You were created to stand out, not to blend in. When everyone around you is giving in, you need to stand your ground. When everyone is lowering their moral standards, you need to keep yours high. When everyone is making deals with their conscience, you need to keep your integrity intact. When everyone is taking the easy way out, you need to stay on the right path. This will make you feel out of place, sometimes lonely, like you don't fit in anywhere, like there's something wrong with you for being so different, like you're exaggerated, too radical, fanatical, and you really don't fit in, but not because there's anything wrong with you. It's because you weren't made for this world. You're a citizen of heaven, living temporarily here on earth. You're a pilgrim. You're just passing through. Don't try to fit in where you don't belong. Don't sacrifice who you are to be accepted by people who wouldn't truly accept you anyway. Don't change your values to gain the approval of those who don't share your values. Don't lower your standards to please those who live without standards. Human acceptance is temporary and conditional. Divine approval is eternal and unconditional. It's worth much more to have me by your side than to have the whole world applauding you. The world applauds today and crucifies you tomorrow. The world exalts you when you serve its interests. It rejects you when you choose my path. The world loves you when you conform. It hates you when you transform. The world accepts you when you are like everyone else. It persecutes you when you are different. So don't live to please people, live to please me. When you please me, when you live by my principles, something interesting happens. The right people start to respect you. They may not agree with everything you believe, but they respect your integrity. They admire your steadfastness. They value your authenticity. And the wrong people start to reject you, and that's not bad, it's good. Rejection from the wrong people is divine protection. When people who live contrary to my principles reject you, they're doing you a favor. They're removing themselves from your life before they can contaminate you. They're walking away before they can negatively influence you. They're leaving room for the right people to enter. So don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to swim against the tide. Don't be afraid to be the dissenting voice in a world where everyone is singing the same wrong tune. Be bold in your faith. Be radical in your values. Be uncompromising in your principles. Be firm in your convictions. You will be criticized. You will be ridiculed. You will be called a fanatic, an extremist, old-fashioned. But remember what I told you. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and say all kinds of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for great is your reward in heaven. The world may reject you, but I accept you completely. The world may criticize you, but I fully approve of you. The world may abandon you, but I never abandon you. And in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is mine. The only approval you truly need is mine. The only acceptance that truly satisfies is mine. If you are ready to live without conforming to the world's standards and follow only God's standards, click like now as a declaration of that choice. Stay here because I still need to tell you about the eternal consequences of the choices you make today. Every choice has a consequence, my son. The choices you make today determine who you will be tomorrow. They determine where you will be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You can choose the temporary pleasure the world offers, or you can choose the eternal peace I offer. But you must understand that these two options lead to completely different destinies. The world offers immediate satisfaction. It offers quick pleasure. It offers instant gratification. But all of this comes with a very high price that you pay later. 5 minutes of pleasure can result in years of painful consequences. 5 minutes of bad decisions can destroy decades of work. 5 minutes of giving in to temptation can cost you things you can't even imagine. It's like fast food, quick, convenient, delicious in the moment. It satisfies immediate hunger, but it's bad for you. It destroys your health over time. It makes you fat, it clogs your arteries, it saps your energy. And by the time you realize the damage, it's too late. You've already caused damage that will take years to reverse, if it can even be reversed. My path may seem difficult at first. It may require discipline when you want to relax. It may require sacrifice when you want comfort. It may require self-denial when you want to satisfy your desires. But this path results in abundant life, in peace that surpasses all understanding, in joy that does not depend on external circumstances, in deep satisfaction that no temporary pleasure can provide. You are at a crossroads right now. There are two paths before you. One path is wide. It's easy. It's popular. Many people are on it. It seems inviting. It seems attractive. It doesn't require much effort. You can enter it without much thought. But this path, however attractive it may seem, leads to destruction. It leads to spiritual death. It leads to emptiness. It leads to eternal regret. The other path is narrow. It's difficult. It's lonely. Few people are on it. It seems intimidating. It seems costly. It requires you to die to yourself daily. It requires you to deny your carnal desires. It requires you to go against the current. But this path leads to life, to true life, to eternal life, to the abundant life I promised. Which path will you choose? Because you have to. Not choosing is choosing the wrong path by default. Neutrality doesn't exist in this matter. You're either with me or against me. You either serve God or serve the world. You can't serve two masters. You can't have one foot in each path. You have to decide. Today is the day of decision, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more prepared. Today, now, in this moment, you must choose. Choose life so that you may live. Choose the narrow path, even if it seems scary. Choose obedience, even if it is difficult. Choose holiness, even if it costs relationships. Choose integrity, even if it costs opportunities. Because in the end, when it's all over, when you stand before me and account for the life you've lived, I won't ask you how many likes you've had on social media. I won't ask you how much money you've amassed. I won't ask you how much fame you've achieved. I won't ask you how many people admired you. I won't ask you how many worldly successes you've achieved. I'll ask you, did you obey me? Did you live by my principles? Did you choose my path when it was hard? Did you remain faithful when everyone around you was giving in? Did you maintain your integrity when you could have gained more by compromising your values? Did you love others as I taught you? Did you forgive as I forgave you? Were you light in the darkness? Were you salt in the earth? And on that day, nothing will matter anymore. Your worldly successes will seem so empty. Your material achievements will seem so insignificant. All that will matter is whether you lived for me or for the world, whether you chose the eternal or the temporal, whether you invested in heaven or earth. And there will be no more chance to change. There will be no more time for regret. It will be too late. But today is not too late. Today you can still choose. Today you can still change direction. Today you can still decide to live for what truly matters. So choose wisely. Choose with eternity in mind, not just today. Share this message now with someone who is at that crossroads and needs to be reminded of the eternal consequences of temporal choices. Stay here because I still have more vital instructions for your journey. You cannot live on a single spiritual meal, my child. Just as your physical body needs daily nourishment, so does your spirit. You cannot hear God's word once and think it's enough for the rest of your life. You cannot have a powerful spiritual experience and live on it for years to come. You need constant, daily, fresh nourishment. Because spiritual warfare is a daily battle. Temptations don't appear once and then disappear forever. They return every day. The enemy's attacks don't happen just once. They are constant, persistent, daily. So you need to renew your strength daily. You need to strengthen your faith every day. You need to constantly replenish your spirit. Remember Israel in the desert? They received manna from heaven every day. And there was a clear instruction: gather only enough for that day. They couldn't save it for the next day because it would spoil. They had to go out and gather fresh manna every morning. This was God's way of teaching daily dependence, teaching them that they needed to seek Him every day, not just once. The same goes for my words. You need to seek fresh words every day. You can't live solely on past experiences, on what I told you last year, on what you learned 5 years ago. That was important for that moment. But you need to listen to what I'm saying today, for the moment you're living now, for the challenges you're facing now, because each season of your life requires a different word. Each battle requires a different strategy. Each phase requires specific encouragement, and I have specific words for each day of your journey. But you need to be attentive. You need to be connected. You need to be ready to listen. That's why this channel exists, to nourish you spiritually every day, to bring you fresh, relevant, and anointed words for every season of your life, to strengthen you when you're weak, to encourage you when you're discouraged, to correct you when you're straying, to guide you when you're lost, to remind you of who you are when you're forgetting. But if you're not connected, if you're not subscribed, you might miss the crucial message, that word I prepared specifically for you, for the specific moment you're living in, for the specific decision you need to make, for the specific battle you're facing. This platform's algorithm won't show it to you if you're not subscribed, and you'll starve spiritually without even realizing it. And when you experience spiritual hunger, you begin to weaken, your faith begins to waver, your convictions begin to shake. You begin to doubt the promises that were once so clear. You lose discernment. You become confused. You can no longer distinguish my voice from other voices. You become vulnerable to deception, vulnerable to false doctrines, vulnerable to manipulation. So stay connected with me through this channel. Stay plugged into this source of spiritual nourishment every day, without exception. Make it a priority in your routine, not something you do when you have free time, not something you do when you feel like it, but something you do every day as a priority. Before you check your social media in the morning, before you see the news of the day, before you start your busy routine, feed your spirit first. Because what you feed first is what will govern your entire day. If you feed your flesh first, your flesh will dominate the day. If you feed your mind with negativity first, negativity will color everything you see. But if you feed your spirit with my word first, my spirit will govern your decisions, your reactions, your words. You'll notice the difference. On the days you start feeding your spirit, you have more peace, more clarity, more patience, more love, more wisdom. You react better to provocations. You make better decisions. You speak better words. You live better. On the days you skip this spiritual nourishment, everything gets harder. You become more irritable, more anxious, more confused, more vulnerable. Subscribe to this channel now and turn on all notifications to ensure you receive fresh spiritual nourishment every day without fail. Stay here because I'm going to teach you now how to declare your faith even in the most difficult moments. Let me teach you something powerful about the power of the spoken word. What you say has power, much more power than you can imagine. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. This isn't just a pretty metaphor, it's a profound spiritual truth. Your words create realities. Your declarations open or close doors. Your confessions strengthen or weaken your faith. You may be prophesying your own destruction without even realizing it. with the negative words you speak every day. I'll never make it. I always fail. Nothing goes right in my life. I don't deserve to be happy. I'm a disaster. I'll never change. Every time you declare these things, you're not just expressing how you feel, you're decreeing them. You're giving them spiritual power to manifest in your life. Because the spiritual world responds to your statements. When you declare failure, you open the door to failure. When you declare defeat, you invite defeat. When you declare you don't deserve it, you create a barrier to the blessings I want to give you. Your words have creative power, so you need to be very careful about what you say. You need to change your statements. Even when you don't feel it, declare faith. Even when everything is bad, declare victory. Even when it's difficult, declare that I am faithful. Even when you see no evidence, declare that the miracle is coming. This is not lying. This is not denying reality. This is decreeing spiritual reality over natural reality. It is speaking the end from the beginning, as I do. I don't wait to see before speaking. I speak and it happens. I decree and it is established. I say, let there be light, and there is light. I speak and worlds are created, and you were created in my image and likeness. This means your words also have creative power, not on the same level as mine, but they do have power. The power to create atmospheres, the power to open doors, the power to move mountains. So start declaring the right things. God is faithful to me. God will not fail me. I am more than a conqueror through Christ. Everything works together for my good. I will win this battle. My family will be saved. My debts will be paid. My health will be restored. My dreams will come true. My marriage will be healed. My business will thrive. I will not give up. I will get there. Declare these things every day, out loud, with conviction, even when you have no visible evidence, even when everything around you says otherwise. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen. You don't need to see to believe. You need to believe to see. You don't need evidence to declare. You declare, and the evidence appears. When you declare by faith, when you speak of what doesn't yet exist as if it already does, you are creating a spiritual atmosphere for it to manifest. You are aligning the spiritual world with your needs. You are opening doors. You are moving angels. You are releasing God's power to act in your situation. So stop prophesying tragedy over your life. Stop declaring failure. Stop declaring defeat. Stop prophesying death. Start declaring blessings. Start declaring victory. Start prophesying success. Start speaking life. Your words today are creating your reality tomorrow. What you say now is determining what you will experience next. If you want a different life, start speaking differently. If you want different results, start saying different things. Don't wait for your situation to change before changing your words. Change your words, and your situation will change. Because in the spiritual realm, things work differently than in the natural realm. In the natural, you see and then believe. In the spiritual, you believe and then see. And I want you to understand that I am listening to your declarations. Every word that comes out of your mouth reaches my ears. And when you declare faith, when you confess trust in me, when you prophesy victory even in the midst of battle, it moves me. It releases my power. It activates my angels. It accelerates the fulfillment of my promises. So don't underestimate the power of your words. Use your tongue to create, not to destroy. Use your voice to bless, not to curse. Use your statements to strengthen your faith, not to weaken it. Go to the comments now and publicly declare, I trust in God's timing to strengthen your faith through this public confession. Stay here because I still have powerful truths to reveal about what's coming in your life. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead dwells within you right now. Let that sink in for a moment. The same power, not a similar power, not a lesser version. The exact same power that brought Jesus back from the dead is within you now. It's not human strength you need to win your battles. It's this divine power that's already available within you. The Holy Spirit lives within you. The same Spirit who hovered over the waters at creation. The same Spirit who created the entire universe with a single word. The same Spirit who parted the Red Sea. The same Spirit who made the sun stand still in the sky. The same Spirit who raised Jesus from the dead. This incalculable, immeasurable, limitless power dwells within you. But you haven't been tapping into that power. You've been living in your own strength. You've been trying to solve everything on your own. You've been relying on your own intelligence, your own ability, your own resources, and that's why you're exhausted. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel like you can't take it anymore. Because human strength has its limits. It runs out, it ends, it fails. But God's power is limitless. It never runs out, it never ends, it never fails. And when you connect with this power, when you stop trying to do everything yourself and begin to rely on this divine power within you, the impossible becomes possible. Things that were unattainable become achievable. Mountains that seemed impossible to move begin to move. Seas that seemed impassable part. The dead are resurrected. I'm not just speaking literally, although I can do that too if I choose. I'm speaking spiritually. Situations that were dead come to life again. Relationships that were dead are resurrected. Dreams that were buried rise from the grave. Hopes that were lost are restored. Things you'd given up on come back to life. You are more than a conqueror, not by your own strength, not by your own merit, not by your own ability, but by the power of God working through you. When you are weak, I am strong. When you are not strong, I am strong. When you have no strength, I supply. My power is made perfect in your weakness. So stop trying to do everything alone. Stop relying solely on yourself. Stop thinking you have to be strong all the time. Stop carrying weights you weren't meant to carry. Connect with the true source of power through prayer, through worship, through my word, through intimate communion with me. And when you connect, you will experience supernatural strength flowing through you. You will wake up in the morning with unnatural energy. You will face challenges with courage you never had before. You will make decisions with wisdom beyond your understanding. You will speak words that are not your own. You will do things you never imagined capable of. You will overcome obstacles that were once insurmountable. You will win battles that seemed lost. You will conquer territories that seemed impossible to conquer. You will reach heights you thought you would never reach. Not because you are special, not because you are stronger than others, but because the power of resurrection is at work within you. The same power that conquered death can conquer anything in your life. Any addiction, any illness, any financial problem, any relationship crisis, any depression, any anxiety, any fear, any limitation. Because if this power was able to conquer death, the ultimate enemy, what can't it conquer in your life? Nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible for this power. And this power is not far from you. It's not in the sky waiting for you to be good enough to earn it. It's not available only to special or super spiritual people. This power is within you now, available, accessible, waiting for you to connect with it. So today, in this moment, stop trying to make things happen in your own strength. Stop fighting alone. Connect with the power that is within you. Ask the Holy Spirit to fill you completely, to flow through you powerfully, to empower you supernaturally. And then watch what happens. Watch how impossible situations begin to change. Watch how you begin to win battles you were losing. If you're ready to stop living in your own strength and start living in resurrection power, click like now. Stay here because I'm going to reveal to you now who really needs to hear this message through you. I didn't bring you here just for you, my son. I brought you here to be an instrument in my hands, to be a channel of blessing for others, because there is someone very close to you who is about to give up at this very moment. This person is on the edge, on a razor's edge between continuing and giving up, between hope and despair, and in some cases, between life and death, literally. And I want to use you to save her. You are the answer to the prayer she cried out last night. You are the sign she asked for to know if it's worth continuing. You are the angel I sent, disguised as a friend, a family member, an acquaintance. This message you just heard wasn't just for you. It was for you to pass on, for you to share, for you to be the bridge between me and that desperate person. You know who this person is. Their name just came to mind right now as I speak. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a co-worker. It could even be someone you're not very close to, but someone I've placed in your heart right now. Don't ignore this call. Don't put it off. Don't say you'll do it tomorrow, because it might be too late tomorrow. That person could make a bad decision today. They could give up on their marriage today. They could give up on their life today. They could sign that wrong contract. They could go down that destructive path. And you had the message that could have saved them. You had the word that could have changed everything, but you didn't share it. You were embarrassed. You thought you would seem fanatical. You were afraid of what they would think. Don't carry this burden for the rest of your life. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Be obedient to what I'm asking you to do now. Share this message with that person. It may feel strange. It may be uncomfortable. You may not know exactly what to say, but send it anyway. A simple message saying, I heard this and thought of you. God placed you in my heart. Watch until the end. It may seem small, but it can save a life. It can change an eternity. It can be the difference between that person seeing the sun rise tomorrow or not. It's worth any embarrassment. It's worth any discomfort. It's worth any risk of being misunderstood. To be an instrument of salvation, of restoration, of hope in the hands of God. Type 7777 in the comments. Now, as a commitment that you will share this message with someone God has placed on your heart. Stay here, because I have more instructions about the role you will play in other people's lives. You were blessed to bless others, not to selfishly accumulate blessings. You are not a reservoir that must store everything you receive. You are a channel, and the difference is enormous. Water that remains stagnant rots. It becomes dirty. It becomes contaminated. It breeds mosquitoes. It breeds disease. But water that flows remains pure. It remains clean. It remains alive. So it is with God's blessings. If you keep everything to yourself, if you accumulate knowledge, spiritual experiences, revelations, and never share them with anyone, it rots inside you. It becomes spiritual pride. It becomes selfishness. It becomes greed. You start to think you're better than others because you know more. You start to judge those who haven't had the same experiences as you. You become religious in the worst sense of the word. But if you let the blessings flow through you, if you share what you receive, if you bless others with what I have blessed you with, it remains pure within you, and more blessings continue to come. Because I trust those who give, I continue to fill those who empty to help others, but I stop blessing those who selfishly hoard. You have been blessed far more than you recognize, far more than you appreciate. You have a roof over your head. You have food on the table. You have a life. You have health. You have a family. Many don't even have that. You have hope, you have faith. You have knowledge of me. This is wealth no amount of money can buy. There are billionaires who would give their entire fortune to have the peace you have, to have the hope you have, to have the relationship with God you have. And now you have a responsibility to share this spiritual wealth with those who are spiritually poor, with those who have lost hope, with those who don't know me, with those who are unknowingly heading toward destruction. Don't keep this word that transformed you to yourself. It can transform someone through you. This hope you have received can save someone through you. You are responsible for what you know. If you know the truth and don't share it, if you have the solution and don't offer it, that person's blood is on your hands. These are harsh words, I know, but they are true. Ezekiel was a watchman. God placed him as a watchman for the people. If he warned the people of the danger and they chose not to listen, the responsibility lay with the people. But if he didn't warn, if he remained silent, the blood of those people would be held against him. You are a watchman too, in the lives of those around you. I give you privileged information, revelation, word, hope, direction, not for you to keep as a secret treasure, for you to pass on, for you to warn others, for you to guide others, for you to save others. So be faithful to this responsibility. Be courageous, be an instrument in my hands. Share without fear of judgment, without fear of rejection, without fear of appearing fanatical or exaggerated, because you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing it for them, for the people who need to hear it, who are desperate for a word of hope, who are one step away from the abyss and need someone to pull them back. And even if 9 people reject you, even if 9 people laugh at you, if one person is saved, it was worth it. If one life is transformed, it was worth every embarrassment. If one soul is rescued from destruction, it was worth every criticism you received. Because in the end, when you stand before me, I won't ask you how many people applauded you. I'll ask you how many people you helped, how many lives you touched, how many souls you brought into the kingdom. And you don't have to be perfect to be used. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be super spiritual. You just have to be obedient. You just have to share what you've received. You just have to be faithful with the little I've given you. And I'll do the rest. I'll use your imperfect words to touch hearts. I'll use your flawed testimony to save lives. I'll use your simple obedience to work miracles. Share this message now with at least 3 people who need to hear it, fulfilling your spiritual responsibility as a watchman in their lives. Stay here because I'm going to reveal to you now the eternal impact your obedience can have. You were called to be light, my son, not to hide under a bushel, not to remain in a corner, quiet and invisible, but to shine on the mountaintop, for all to see, for all to be impacted. Because light is not meant to illuminate where it is already bright. Light is meant to illuminate darkness, to penetrate darkness, to reveal what was hidden. And so you will be sent to dark places, to difficult environments, to difficult people, to situations that will challenge you, not because you deserve to suffer, not as punishment, but because you carry the light. And where the darkness is deepest, that's where the light is most needed. That's where you make the biggest difference. Wherever you go, darkness recedes. Your presence changes atmospheres. Even without you speaking a word, even without making grand gestures, just by being there, the light you carry begins to shine. It begins to dispel the darkness. It begins to expose what was hidden. It begins to bring clarity where there was confusion. It begins to bring hope where there was despair. The enemy is afraid of you, not of you per se, but of the light you carry. of the presence of God that dwells within you, because wherever this light reaches, his plans are undone, his lies are exposed, his chains are broken, his strongholds are toppled. That's why he tries so hard to make you extinguish your light, to make you hide, to make you ashamed, to make you think you're nothing. But don't be afraid of the darkness. Don't be afraid of dark places. Don't avoid difficult people. Don't run away from difficult situations, because I sent you there. You're not in these places by chance. You don't live with these people by coincidence. You don't face these situations by chance. I positioned you strategically, like a soldier in battle, like a light in a dark place. Your testimony will inspire multitudes. People you don't even know will be impacted by your story, by what I did in you, by what I did through you. Future generations will talk about you. They will tell the story of how you remained faithful when everyone around you gave in, how you shone when everyone hid, how you had courage when everyone was afraid. But this only happens if you shine. If you don't hide your light, if you're not ashamed of the gospel, if you don't give in to the world's pressure to camouflage yourself, to blend in, to be like everyone else. You need to be different. You need to be noticed, not out of arrogance, not out of superiority, but because light simply doesn't go unnoticed. Light always attracts attention. When you light a candle in a dark room, everyone looks. When you turn on a flashlight in a cave, everyone sees. The same goes for your life. When you live differently, with different values, with different priorities, people will notice. They will ask questions. They will question. They will want to understand. Shine where I've placed you. At work, in your family, at school, in your neighborhood, on social media, everywhere you go. Be honest in an environment of lies. Be faithful in an environment of betrayal. Be pure in an environment of corruption. Be generous in an environment of selfishness. Be peaceful in an environment of conflict. Be hopeful in an environment of despair. And when people ask you why you're different, and they will, you'll have the opportunity to testify, to tell them what I've done in your life, to explain that it's not because you're better than anyone else. It's not because you're stronger. It's not because you're luckier. It's because you know me. It's because you've experienced my love. It's because you've been transformed by my power. And through your testimony, others will want to know this light too. They will want to experience this transformation. They will want to have this peace. They will want to have this hope. And you will be the instrument I use to lead others from darkness to light, from death to life, from despair to hope, from slavery to freedom. This is your calling. This is your purpose, not just to be blessed, but to be a blessing, not just to receive light, but to be light, not just to be saved, but to be a savior in the lives of others. And when you embrace this calling, when you fulfill this purpose, you will experience a satisfaction that nothing in this world can give, a joy that is independent of circumstances, a fulfillment that goes beyond any material achievement. We're nearing the end of this message, my son. But before you go, before you close this video and return to your routine, I need you to seal the blessings that have been released here. Everything that has been spoken, everything that has been decreed, everything that has been prophesied about your life needs to be sealed in the spiritual world, through acts of faith, through declarations, through prophetic gestures that confirm your acceptance. It's done in the spiritual world. The angels have already been sent. The decrees have already been released. The doors have already been opened. The curses have already been broken. The provision has already been released. The healing has already been sent. Everything is ready, but it needs to be sealed through your agreement, through your faith. When you agree with what I've said, you activate the manifestation in the natural world. When you declare your faith, you accelerate the process. When you act prophetically, you release power. So do these prophetic acts with me now. First, acknowledge that I spoke to you today, that this was not a random message, but a specific word from God for your moment. Second, accept everything that has been decreed upon your life. All the blessings, all the promises, all the deliverances. Third, commit to walking in obedience, to doing your part, to not taking shortcuts, to staying on the right path. Fourth, forgive those who hurt you right now, not because they deserve it, but because it frees you. As long as you hold a grudge, you remain trapped, but when you forgive, you free yourself. Fifth, declare out loud, I am a child of God, I am loved, I am valuable, I have a purpose. Sixth, give thanks in advance for the miracle that is coming. Give thanks as if it has already happened, because in the spiritual world, it has already happened. Each of these acts has spiritual power. They are not mere religious formalities. They are actions that move the invisible world. They release angels to work. They activate blessings that were awaiting their consent. They hasten the manifestation of what is already ready in heaven to descend to earth. So don't leave here without doing this. Don't close this video without sealing everything that was said, because if you leave without sealing, you leave doors open for the enemy to steal, for doubt to enter, for fear to return, for unbelief to cancel everything. But when you seal through faith, through declaration, through obedience, nothing can steal. It's guaranteed, it's safe, it's protected by your faith. Click like now to seal your agreement with everything that has been decreed, and subscribe to continue receiving the word that will sustain these blessings. Stay here, because I have one last powerful statement for you to make before you go. Now I want you to make the most powerful final declaration of all, a declaration that will echo in heaven and on earth. That will make the angels move faster. That will make the demons retreat in fear. A public declaration of faith, not just in your heart, not just in your mind, but publicly. Because when you declare publicly, the commitment becomes greater, the faith becomes stronger, the testimony becomes more powerful. Declare with me now, God does not fail me. 5 simple words, but loaded with power, loaded with faith, loaded with conviction. It's not arrogance, it's not presumption, it's not you saying you're special or better than others. It's you declaring God's character, it's you affirming His nature, it's you acknowledging His faithfulness. You're saying, I can fail, and I do, but God never fails. People can disappoint me, and they do, but God doesn't disappoint. Circumstances can change, and they do constantly, but God doesn't change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His word never returns void. His promises never fail. His plans never fail. This declaration will anchor you in times of storm, when everything around you is falling apart, when life is chaotic, when you don't know what to do. You will remember this declaration you made today. God does not fail me, and this memory will give you strength. It will give you stability. It will give you peace in the midst of chaos. When results are slow to come, when you've waited so long you're starting to doubt, when it seems like nothing is happening, when you're tempted to give up, you will declare again, God will not fail me, and this declaration will sustain you. It will give you the strength to carry on another day. It will give you hope not to give up. It will remind you that if God promised, He will fulfill it. But you need to declare it now, not just think it, not just mentally agree. You need to write it. You need to type it. You need to make it public, make it real. Because there is power in the spoken word. There is power in public confession. There is power in testimony that others can see. And when thousands of people declare this together, When thousands make this same confession of faith, it creates a powerful spiritual atmosphere, an atmosphere of collective faith that strengthens individual faith. Your eyes will read the declarations of others in the comments, and your faith will grow. You will see that you are not alone on this journey, that you are not the only one believing, that thousands are believing along with you, that thousands are declaring the same faith, that thousands are experiencing the same faithful God. So don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid of what others will think. Don't worry about whether someone will think you're exaggerated or fanatical. Speak boldly. Speak with conviction. Speak with authority. Because you're not speaking your own words. You're agreeing with God's word. You're echoing what He's already said about Himself. You're simply acknowledging the truth. And that declaration will mark a moment in your life, a milestone, a turning point. Years later, you will look back and remember, it was on that day that I first declared that God does not fail me. And it was from that day on that things began to change. It was from that declaration that my faith was strengthened. It was from that public commitment that I saw God's hand move in a more powerful way. Because there's something about making a public declaration that commits you in a different way, that compels you to live by what you've declared, that constantly reminds you of the faith you professed. And I'm going to hold you to that declaration. I'm going to remind you of it in difficult times. I'm going to bring it back to mind when you're wavering. And you're going to hold on to it like an anchor. Go to the comments now and declare publicly with all boldness, God does not fail me, sealing your faith in front of thousands. Stay here because I have one last parting word and one final promise for you before we close. My son, my daughter, I have already done my part. The seed was planted tonight, the angels were sent, protection was activated, blessings were released, curses were broken, doors were opened. Now you must do your part. Trust me, rest in my word, wait patiently. Because the miracle has already begun. It won't begin when you see it with your own eyes. It's already begun now, in this moment. In the spiritual world, it's done, complete, finished. Now it's just a matter of time until it manifests in the natural world. Until you can touch it, see it, experience it, rest knowing I'm in control. Sleep peacefully knowing I neither slumber nor sleep. While you rest, I'm working. While you sleep, my angels are at work. While you wait, doors are opening. People are being prepared. Resources are being deployed. Everything is being aligned perfectly. I love you with an eternal love. I will never abandon you. I will never disappoint you. I will never fail you. You are precious to me. More valuable than you can imagine. More important than you believe. Go in peace, son. Go in peace, daughter. Go knowing that you are safe, protected, blessed. But before you go, there's something else I need to tell you. Something urgent. Something that's happening right now, and you need to know. My son, my daughter, I'm upset. Not with you, but with what's been happening in your life. And tonight, right now, I'm going to do something powerful, but I need you to stay with me here. Don't leave yet. Because if you leave now, you'll miss what I still have to reveal to you. I've seen every tear. I've heard every prayer. I know every pain. And I will no longer remain silent in the face of what they did to you.